getting my clay board. And you can see I've just got some pieces of paper on there, and I'll just draw a square, which is my fat quarter. Now I'm going to be stacking 4 fat quarters one on top of each other, and then I will play around. So I maybe want to slash it across there, slash it across there, and slash it just there. No rhyme nor reason why I've picked that. I haven't measured it so many inches this way and so many inches that way. As I said, I'm a fly-by-the-night quilter. What can be done quick is really good by me. Do another square, and you might want to try something else. You might want to just slash it that way. So you've got bigger pieces here and smaller pieces there. If you were slashing on the diagonal, then you would draw your square and just decide where you want to slash it. Now, as long as you've got 3 slash marks, you will have 4 pieces to your design, which gives you 4 fat quarters. Okay, so I'm going to get some fabrics out for you and just show you what can be done. I've just got a selection of fat quarters out of my drawer, and they're all similar themed colours. Now some of them will stand out more than others. That colour, for instance, stands out, and so does that one. So I need to pick fabrics that are going to go together. If I'm going to have 2 fabrics that stand out, then I would probably need them in the same sort of colour tones. This to me really doesn't go with those fabrics that I've got in this colour range. But if I remove those and put that one there, then that looks fine. I don't want to add that one really because it's giving me more colours into that colour range. So I would take that one out and have a look at my other fabrics. I could maybe put that one in, but then this one will stand out. So I'm going to take that one out and I'll try that one. That one will go. It's got the yellows in it, and it's also got the bony colour with that one. So you could actually have that one. Now that does give you an option by adding the blue in there so that you can have a blue border around it, or you could use the blue for sashing. And also I think I've got 1/2 metre of that rather than a fat quarter, so that would give me a little bit more area, a bit more fabric for the borders. These 2 to me are too fussy for doing this technique. So I could use those. If I didn't want to add that one in, I could maybe add that one in. And again, you've got a range of fabrics. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one range of fabrics. If I was using these tones of fabrics, I've got a couple there. Maybe I could add that one, which means a darker colour. Then I have to find something that will go in with those tonings. Those really don't go. I could add that one. Then that one stands out. Goes with those. Doesn't really go with those. I'm going to take that one out. Again, I could add that one. But you're adding blues and greens and all those other colours. That one is not quite as bright, so I could probably add that one into the selection, or I could put that one in and put that one with those. Okay, so I'm going to go with those for my selections of my fat quarters, or maybe that's going to stand out. No, okay, we'll go back to the original selection. Get rid of those ones. So we've got 4 lots of fabric. Now I'm just going to check how much I've got in these bits of fabric. Okay, so I've got a fat quarter in that one. And another fat quarter. Now these, depending where you're getting your fabrics from, these may not necessarily be all the same size. In Australia we use meterage. In the States they tend to use yards. So depending if I've got a quarter of a yard or a quarter of a metre will determine the size of my fabric. You can see they're not quite exactly the same size, but they're close enough. Now with this one, I've got a whole ½ metre of fabric. So I only want a fat quarter. But that's easy fix, so what I'll do is I'll just pick the fabric and tear it, and now I have another fat quarter. It's bigger than the other ones, but it's not a problem, and the extra I can now use for my borders. Okay, now I've ironed my 4 fat quarters and I've just stacked them one on top of each other. I've done the biggest piece underneath the bottom. Now first of all, I'm just going to get rid of these selvages. Turn my fabric around. I'm not going to be too particular here, but I'm just going to make these roughly the same size. Do not panic if they're not, because we are going to cut them down to a square when we finish sewing them back together. So there I have my 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of fabric. Now I'm just going to work out where I'm going to cut it. So I may want to do one cutting line down there, and then I'll do another one probably across there, and then I'll do another one over this side. So I'll start off, and I want to make sure that this area is bigger than this area. I'm just going to get my rotary ruler, doesn't matter if it's straight or crooked. Now I'm going to turn my ruler around again, and I'm just going to slice it through there, and we might make the next one just over here. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I'm going to call that number 1. I'm going to call that number 2, number 3, and number 4.